Ironeye is by far the most misunderstood Nightfarer. You might assume the bow character is supposed to play from range, and sure, you can play safely from a distance, but your damage, especially in multiplayer, drops off a cliff. To unlock Ironeye's full potential, you need to stand a lot closer than you might expect. I wanted to make sure I knew what I was talking about before making this guide, so I held off until I could consistently solo the final boss. I've soloed Heelster 7 times with Ironeye, and at the end of this video, I'll include one of those runs with commentary. The key to Ironeye is knowing when to poke from range and when to step in. Staying at range keeps you safe and your damage steady, but to maximize your damage, you need to play almost within melee range. Ironeye has a unique heavy attack for bows that deals way more DPS than the light attack. In a game where speed and burst damage are king, this isn't something you can ignore. It kills faster, pops mark faster, and revives faster. If you want to get the most out of Ironeye, you need to look for opportunities to use heavy attacks as often as possible. The other reason you need to play close is marking, easily the most important part of Ironeye's kit. It gives you iframes, repositions you, deals damage, debuffs enemies to take more damage, and once you deal enough damage, it detonates for a burst of damage and a stagger. The difference between a good Ironeye and a bad one often comes down to how much uptime they maintain on marking. Don't worry, I'm going to break all of that down. Marking is a powerful defensive and offensive tool. It's a dash with generous iframes that can dodge almost any attack in the game. It also disables collision, so you can dash through enemies and reposition anywhere you want. You can dash in any direction by holding the left stick where you want to go and pressing the top face button and the left trigger at the same time. You can curve the dash, but the real tech comes from bouncing off your target to reposition. Here's how it works. If you strike an enemy during the first half of your dash and input a direction right before impact, you'll bounce and reposition. This won't work if you hit during the second half. You can use this to reposition to blind spots, mark nearby enemies, or maintain good positioning. To shorten your dash, jump and use marking midair. This kills your momentum. I highly recommend practicing these techniques on the training posts, since they're perfectly spaced to practice hitting multiple targets. Now let's talk about marking's offensive value. When you mark a target, it takes 10% more damage for 17 seconds. The mark flashes as it expires, but if you deal enough damage before it runs out, it detonates for heavy damage and a potential stagger. The mark will darken in color as it gets closer to bursting. The damage threshold to burst scales with how tough the enemy is. Against tougher bosses, you often won't be able to burst the mark before it expires. However, you can refresh it by hitting them with marking again. Marking's cooldown is 10 seconds, so you have a 7-second window to refresh your mark. Miss that window and you'll lose your uptime. This is Ironeye's true skill check. Can you keep marking up through a tough fight to land those big bursts? Ironeye has 2 relic skills to help with marking uptime, and one of them is essential. The first skill extends the duration of marks from 17 to 20 seconds. It's fine, but nowhere near as strong as the second, which gives you 2 charges of marking. I cannot stress how amazing this skill is. Having 2 uses lets you miss, lets you use marking purely for iframes, lets you reapply marking instantly after your previous mark bursts, lets you mark multiple enemies back to back. It just adds so much flexibility and power to this skill. Unfortunately, there is no guaranteed relic for this, so you will have to get lucky. Now let's talk about Ironeye's ultimate art, Single Shot. Press the top face button and the right trigger together to draw Ironeye's great bow and fire a massive arrow with a shockwave. You're fully invincible during this animation, and you can extend that invincibility by holding the buttons, though this doesn't increase the damage. Single Shot ignores terrain, clears weak mobs, staggers bosses, and revives down teammates if they have a single bar. In boss fights, do not waste it for pure damage. Save it for staggers, crowd clears, and revives. Because of its range, learning how to free aim Single Shot is crucial. Lock-on can be unreliable, causing you to miss lined up targets. When free aiming, the left stick controls the horizontal direction, and the right stick controls the vertical. To make this simple, hold forward on your left stick to align Single Shot with your camera, and then use the right stick to free aim your ultimate. You can practice this on the birds in the training area. There are 2 relics that modify Single Shot. The first adds poison buildup if you charge the attack. This is okay but not a priority. Most small enemies are already dead, and several bosses are immune to poison, so this effect can be very situational. The second effect boosts thrusting counterattack damage by 20% for 30 seconds after use. Now, what's a thrusting counterattack? When enemies are mid-animation, their thrust defense drops, and arrows deal thrust damage, so shooting enemies when they're mid-attack deals bonus damage. The bonus damage can be boosted further with this relic, the Spear Talisman, or a random boon. Bows have 3 main fire modes. The normal light attack is a 4-shot combo that has a slight pause at the end. Alternatively, you can aim down sights while two-handing a bow by pressing the left bumper. This doesn't have a pause after the 4th shot like the combo, but it deals less burst damage since the combo gets bonus damage on later shots. Arrows have heavy auto-tracking, and for some reason the tracking is much stronger to the left of the crosshair than the right. I've often seen it suggested to aim for heads, since headshots can deal extra damage and flinch certain enemies. However, I almost never aim with a bow. If I want damage, I'm using the heavy attack. It fires 3 arrows at once for massive burst and sustained damage, if you're close enough to land all 3. These arrows also benefit from heavy auto-tracking, so you can land headshots and fire them into groups if you space yourself properly. When you need to close the gap, you should use marking or running heavies. A running heavy triggers a slide that can duck under certain attacks while firing, though it has no iframes. The Fadeaway trick is also worth learning. While charging a heavy attack, press the right face button to hop backward and fire. Again, no iframes, but it can be used to space attacks. The single most important relic is anything that gives you an extra charge of marking, but until you find one, here's my recommended relic progression. Knight of the Beast is a guaranteed relic from beating the first expedition, Tricephalos. It gives you stamina for landing attacks, massively increasing uptime. It also adds fire damage to your starting bow, which is huge against certain bosses. Your first remembrance relic, Crack Sealing Wax, is not great, but better than nothing. Skip Gaping Jaw for now and complete Sentient Pest. It rewards you with Knight of the Wise, which gives poison for Gaping Jaw. Progress the Remembrance quest further and take down the Darkdrift Knight for Edge of Order. It boosts bow damage by 6% and makes your weapon deal holy damage, which is perfect for taking on the Knight aspect. Completing the Knight aspect rewards you with Knight of the Lord, one of Ironeye's strongest guaranteed damage relics. It gives you a damage buff when you swap weapons, and because all bows play the same, swapping mid-fight is pretty seamless. There are random relics that can get you even more damage, but Knight of the Lord is one of the best guaranteed setups. That wraps up the guide portion. If you want to see all of this in action, stick around for my solo, Deathless final boss run with commentary. I'll be making more Night Rain videos going forward, alongside Monster Hunter Wilds. I'll also be playing Lies of P and hopefully Silksong when it finally drops. If that sounds interesting, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Alright, here are the relics. We've got our +1 additional character skill use. Knight of the Lord for our bow weapon switching. And Edge of Order. Right, let's get started. I am trying to go for a solo Deathless, but I'm going to try to do the correct thing most of the time. I'm not going to take crazy risks. I'm still going to hit as many churches as I can. No super sweaty strategies. Can probably avoid castle entirely. Okay, looks like we're starting at a church. Probably want to hit that castle to get an Ever Gel. Maybe check out what the field boss is over the hill. Some rats. Probably could have saved that for later, but you know, whatever. Alright, let's see. Might as well check out these talismans. No. Alright, field boss. Let's take a peek. Yeah, right up this hill. Nope, nope, no, nope. I'm going for a solo Deathless. Let's not try to fight Elmira at level 1. Let's skip to the top of the castle. Alright, Abductor Virgin, so we can just kill these guys up here, and Virgin will take care of the guys downstairs. Alright. Please give me Stone Sword. There we go. Might as well just eat it off the floor. Yeah, I guess we'll check out staves, see if we can get anything cool on them. Nope. Oh, there we go. Right, I'm putting that in my offhand so I can keep switching to my bow without accidentally pulling out the staff. And I'm gonna play this very safe and super lame because I don't want to get one tapped. Mark's gonna pop. Yep, there we go. Yeah, nothing too crazy there. Right, Everjail is right there. Also kind of want to go to a cave and get a purple rock. What Merchant has, and hopefully that dude did not follow me, but ooh, yes, okay. So I'm gonna grab damage negation of full HP for exactly that reason. See how little damage that did, and I can just heal up to full every time and get that damage negation back. So very effective on low health characters. Damage negation of full HP. It's always going to be, this guy's always going to drop a purple rock. Damage back. Just waiting for Mark to pop. Go, a rock. And we're out of here. And then people keep hitting their head whenever using the Spirit Spring. You have to just let yourself go straight up. Don't go at an angle, otherwise you will smack your head on your way out. So I'll kill these guys. And there's the running heavy coming in, doing work. Do they have anything else cool? Damage negation at low HP is nothing I'd really go out of my way for. So you can get a purple weapon even though it requires you to be +7. Even though it requires you to be level 7, you can upgrade weapons and still be able to use them. Let's just grab that Wedding Grace. I don't really want to see a merchant again. And yeah, I know it's solo Deathless, but you never know. And I still need to practice if worse comes to worse. But yeah, I could have held on to the my normal bow, and it does holy damage, and that would have been fine. But see, my bow's dealing holy right now. You can kind of just roll the gotcha with Knight of Lord, and it's just a 1 in 4 chance, and you get the boss's weakness. It's pretty great. Only thing you can't get is you can't get status effects like poison, bleed, or frost. So not as hot for Gaping Jaw, but you have options for Gaping Jaw. Alright, let's see what we get. Yeah, I'm not too good at fighting the skinny one. That one's another. But fortunately, we can play super lame right now. If you don't know how to approach a fight, just play very lame, and like it's fine. Of course, like do right clicks when you feel you can get away with it. I mean, not right clicks. Do heavy attacks when you feel you can get away with it. But if you can't, it's okay to just stand far away and poke people. But just make sure you have markup, because you're really just banking on. You're banking on Mark just giving you some extra damage and getting that burst at the end, and that'll help you keep your damage up, even if you don't know what you're doing. But if you do know what you're doing, like, absolutely get in there. Let's see, we got Loretta out there. And Fort. I'm thinking... yeah, probably just grab the church. And maybe the fire camp afterwards? Depends what's there. So if it's the Red Maiden Knights, like, I don't really feel like clearing them. But if it's the chariots, absolutely, chariots are easy solo. You just gotta jump on them. A little bit of positioning stuff. Yeah, let's clear these guys. There's a bow rack up here all the time. Charge attacks. Nope. Alright, just in case the final boss steals madness, let's grab that. Oh, well. Alright, yeah, let's go get the chariots afterwards. Sneak up on the one on the right. He's facing away. Hopefully he does not. Oh, alright. They know. Eyes in the back of their heads. There we go. One down, two to go. Alright, got a bit lucky on the last one. I thought he was going to drive off, but that's great. Kind of not great being next to all these dudes. Let's see if I can just grab it and go. Lightning damage again? Okay, yeah, stamina. Alright, let's hit that level up. And then... yeah, clear another camp. We don't have another stone sword. I would love to do another, but... oh, Scarab. Claw Talisman. Better than nothing. Not great. Like, you do have jumping attacks with the bow, but they're not something you want to build around. There's a field boss out there, and it's Sammer. Okay. Let's just do these guys, and, enough time? I think we do. Alright, let's go. Get our weapon swap, and then, you know, get some headshots without aiming. It's great. Zammer and Black Knife just get headshot all the time for some reason. And then we got our sliding attack, just ducking that attack. If he right clicks, that is it. Right. Damage negation, yep. That was not damage negation, was it? It said damage on it, so let's get going. Alright, scale bearing. I'm not gonna do scale bearing just because it's a little too random to go like, oh yes, absolutely, you should do this. Let's see, Banish Knights. Do we have time? I think we have time. Like, if not, I think they give runes if you just kill a couple of them. It's okay if we don't get the upgrade, but it would be great if we did. Oh, hello. Oh, I hate the sword dude. Alright. Can we get the crit? Got the crit. Alright. And he's down. Alright, I don't know about the last one. Where is he? Oh, there he is, there he is. Wow, that wall's very close. Okay, no, that's not happening. He can just spin for days. Let's go. Alright, let's avoid Loretta. Hit the Grace so we can get our health back. Alright, looking pretty good so far. Alright, what do we got tonight? God, demi-humans. Alright, demi-humans. I don't know, just gonna take care of the larger ones first. The smaller ones are normally, you just one-shot them. And then, when you're playing solo, a lot of enemies will just like stand back and chill. Some of them won't. Like, if you get Banished Knights out of a stone sword, they'll all just try to kill you at the same time. It is something else. Okay, I'm gonna focus the Sword Master first, just because I don't know his moveset, and Demi-Human Queen tends to just like chill out in the back. Yep, she's not doing anything. And oh, there we go. Got the crit. Alright, hopefully chunks him. Okay, yeah. Oh. Then keeping Mark up. I think he might die before Mark pops actually, but yeah. Okay, wow. Alright. And then she tends to freak out a bit after he dies. So gotta be a little careful, and then she's also gonna summon a ton of dudes, so let's try to kill all of them. Oh, crit. No? Oh, got stuck on the arm. Alright. Okay, that's most of them. There's one left, but we will take care of him. There we go. Maggie, chill. Come on. Alright. Ooh. Oh, I need to heal after that, but alright, almost there, almost there. Alright, let's just one more shot. Come on. There we go. Alright, no problem. Level 9, purple weapon. Loretta's there. Let's see. Damage after crits is not bad in solo play because you will get crits, and they just have their damage negation reduced, and that's always nice. Yeah, let's grab some upgrades first, and then See how things go. Loretta might be able to one-tap me with the glaive spin. So I'd have to play super carefully. I do have the damage negation at full HP though. Ah, but she could poke me from range with spells. Okay, another Virgin. Just grab stuff upstairs again. Let Virgin kill the guys downstairs. Don't get stabbed in the face this time. Alright. Fire grease, maybe. Oh. Yeah, I got my pockets full. I probably don't need that many warming stones, but, you know, I like them. Skill FP, charge sorceries. Hello? There we go. Ooh. Okay, almost got grabbed. Taking damage boosts damage negation. That's not bad to have. And then we have our second bow, so we can swap our main hand and just maintain the Knight of the Lord buff. It does reduce our damage if we're firing with a blue bow. Hopefully we can find purple later to swap out. But purple to blue, not terrible. Not a terrible damage loss. It is a damage loss, so try to stick on purple as often as you can. But just having something to swap to real quick to keep up the damage buff is going to deal a little bit more damage than just a normal purple weapon. There's supposed to be a boss. Okay, nope. He's gonna jump around. It's gonna suck a lot. I think we grab this church and then we head over to Loretta. And then the stone sword. And then the circle's gonna close and it's gonna be somewhere up top, I feel. For the memes. Alright, Wraith Calling Bell's actually really good. But I am already a ranged character, so... But I don't use my FP on anything. But Wraith Calling does let you play even more lame than the normal bow. Because you can just ding your bell and start panic rolling, and then let the auto tracking of the spell take care of enemies for you. I might use it later.
There is no
Okay, no Loretta. We don't have time for that. We are getting invaded right now. Alright. I'm not super familiar with his new moveset, so I might have to play super lame when he brings the knives out, but that's what Ironeye is here for. Oh, here we go. Alright, I'm just gonna eat all the knives. Got our damage negation back up. Okay, got another back end. Oh, that's also not good. Need to make this fight a bit faster than I was hoping for. Right? We got Mark and we got ult. Please flinch him. Not fast enough. Okay, Mark goes off again. I think like one more Mark. That's probably enough. I know that one. I know that. Oh, knives again. Knives again. Alright, we're alive. Cool. Knives? More knives? My mark. Lost my mark. It's okay, we have time. Just poke him down. There we go. Alright. Then we get the buff that gives us more damage when we discover graces. Alright, once you hit a certain level, you can just dash through guys to kill them. Just always do that when you're walking around. Gives you more runes. Okay, what do we got? Yeah, let's just head up. I have a... Yep, yeah, I think it's Leyndell Knights. Leyndell. I don't care for tracking them all down in the camp. And then they've got great shields. Not a great matchup, just because you have to wait for them to drop their shield and attack you to shoot them. Alright, let's hit that grace, and then we have some options. There's a couple field bosses, there's a stone sword. Not following my own advice, I should have just dashed that guy. Right, stone sword, where... There we are. Alright, and we almost have ult just in case it's a bunch of dudes, because... Looks like a bunch of dudes. Alright. Just get marking and start heavy attacking into them. And then there's the auto tracking coming in, just getting us headshots. Alright, we have ult. Do we need it? They just lined up so perfectly right there. I gotta do it. Okay. Physical attack power. Alright, there's a mini boss down there. And then I guess there's church up there. Don't have another stone sword. Okay, it's a lion. Alright. Got this. And just doing some menuing with the bows. Before any boss fight, start out with your blue bow in your hand, and then swap to your purple bow as soon as you get down. And, that should be the fight, hopefully. No, not fight. There we go. Improve flask restoration. That'll hopefully keep us topped off whenever we take a big hit, so we can get our damage negation back up. See, I have Wraith Calling Bell, but I still haven't managed to use it. I don't know, just from the range I'm playing at, I'd rather just use the bow, I feel. Okay. Probably could have held on to that for later, but see how long the buff lasts. Might be able to kill whatever's up there. push through these guys. And then it sounds like a dragon? Please be dragon. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Easy fight. Alright. Dragons are not bad at all for Ironeye. You just kind of camp under their chin, and they can't do anything. And then whenever you flinch their head with marking, they dip their head just low enough that you can get another marking off. See, he dips his head. There's the fight. But yeah, their heads take double damage, and you have the range to just poke their head whenever you want. Rain of Stars, let's go. Not a lot of stuff to choose from there, but it's better than nothing. And then it procs frequently whenever you're drinking your flask and stuff, so maybe it'll save me a couple times in a boss fight. Just poke the boss, pop marking or something silly like that. Alright, let's clean up Hippo, and then if we have time we'll have to scrounge up some dudes around here just to get some runes. But Hippo's a very... oh, marking. Hippo's a nice fight because he's got a very long hitbox. It's very hard. See, like, I can just right click. I didn't have to run in, but you can just stand back and pop him from the side and everything will hit him. Alright, damage negation. Yeah, there's just nothing out on this hill. Lock on. Excuse me. Just accidentally popped the guy in the back there. Alright, let's hit our level up real quick. Yeah, there's a... hopefully we get something a little bit better than the jump attack talisman. No, we did not. Okay, yeah, I don't really want to go in there either. I think I just kill some dudes, run to circle. Yeah, probably don't need all of that. Yep. Exalted Flesh, Lightning Grease, let's get going. So, greasing your weapon does tend to do a little bit more damage than whatever you get when you swap weapons. Well, swapping your weapon and then greasing it deals more damage than just swapping your weapon. I think it's some sort of tree sentinel tonight. Let's get Mark. Crit. But yeah, shield dudes can be an absolute pain. It's really good to pop them like that. Just because they can hold shield for basically forever. You gotta bait them to attack you. Hit them with the slide in fake out. That works pretty frequently. If you slide in, they'll try to hit you. Half the time they can't because you're low profiling their attack. Alright. Let's hit a couple of them with Mark. There we go. Oh, that guy's down. Where is he? Where is he? Lock on. And he's in the bush. Okay. Alright, he's got a sliver of health. Let's see if we can get him. Alright. Not bad at all. And then the other guy, like, the cavalry tend to just ride around while you fight Tree Sentinel, until Tree Sentinel uses his ultimate, it'll be purple, and he'll have everybody charge at you, like he'll summon ghost dudes, and the other guys will back him up. Alright, let's go Star Shower. Please stop with the fireballs. Stop. No. Oh, let's bring back memories. Alright, get him Star Shower. Yo, alright. Pop mark. Alright, let's see. Oop, there we go. Get to style on him. Oof. Alright. Nightlord time. Damage or flask restoration? It's because I have the damage negation at full HP, so the flask restoration just to top myself off, guaranteed. Pretty tempting. Alright, let's head up. Group time. Gonna hit the level up by the Wind and Grace. Yeah, okay, we have enough. Then, can probably drop the Winding Stone. Nope, the healing Warming Stone. Yep, we're dropping Warming Stone. Let's just go damage because we got 2 Winding Graces. We can pop our heals if we absolutely have to, and then standing a Warming Stone is not amazing solo. Like, it'll save you heals if you drop it during the phase transition. Just plop one on the ground. Alright. Let's get our bows sorted. Yep. In phase 1, you can get in pretty close and just right click, especially in multiplayer, but solo you gotta take it a little bit safer just because you can gap close decently. And then after that sword swing, he always roars, he always charges at you, and you can always use marking through that. Hey, come on, this is solo Deathless, you're not allowed to do that. Okay, get him Star Shower. There we go. The Star Shower is putting in work, my gosh. Alright, let's buff up. And then he's always going to go for a stab. And then a slam that I am totally gonna roll. There we go. Oh, nice. And then, yep, roar. Dash through that. 3. And then he's got a long windup after that one. Guaranteed heavy attack. And then I don't want him to do this, so I'm just gonna pop ult. It is a huge time waster, and because you gotta sprint around at full speed. You lose all your stamina. You don't have anything to attack him with when he's done with it. It's just an attack that just makes you run around. Okay, slam again. And got caught. Okay. Yeah, I can just poke him a little bit. And then we have 2 uses of marking, so we can just use one to dash and not die here. Fortunately, marking fell off of him. And that is sleep. Alright, well, better than madness, I guess. You can't really, like, 1-2 combo you. With madness, you take the health loss. And with sleep, he kind of just gets one free hit in. save me, Rain of Stars. Here he comes. 1, 2, 3. Here's the blade flow. Nope. He's dead. He's dead. Alright. There we go. Solo Deathless. Let me know what other Nightfarers you want to see, and maybe I'll do them. I cannot stand Guardian. I'm sorry, but everybody else is fair game.